Where are you from?
I'm what you call a military brat, so I could claim a lot, but I'm from San Antonio, Texas. That's my stomping ground. So San Antonio, like Kirby, that little area, I would say that's where I'm from. That was where I grew up 11 to 17-ish, 16, till I came here, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So that's where I would claim.
Okay, and what was it like growing up in San Antonio?
Hot. But it's a different hot than Georgia. Don't get it twisted. Georgia got that like swamp hot, like that choke you hot. But this hot is like just dry, sun beaming on you, just hot. So
yeah.
In the summer we don't play outside. We play video games.
And so what were you doing in San Antonio?
Well, since like I said, my pops was in the military, he served. So I was a military brat. So he was posted at the fort, and we was like off the fort, like off campus living or whatever you want to call that. So that's why I was there. That's the reason. But
were you doing music at this time?
No, but my whole family was, and that's kind of how I even got into it. It's crazy you bring that up because that's where I actually seen my first hip hop show, my first underground show. That's why I call it my stomping grounds. That's where I kind of discovered everything, if that makes sense. So that was definitely like my discovery city, I guess you can call that, for life. Yeah.
At what age did you start making beats?
Well, if you count iPad beats, I would count those. They're audio.
Yeah.
Like 13, 14.
Oh, wow.
iPad, yeah. Because I would take, I forget the app, but before they even started coming out with stuff like Logic Pro and all the ones that like is like new age, before they did, there was like little beat apps. You could find them like on the old school iPhones, and I would just play with those and make my loops. Just do that all day. And I still consider that beat making because I'm making noises. So that's really how I started, just playing around.
Do you play any instruments?
I picked up violin, and I think if I grabbed it right now, I could mess with it, but I can't do it no more. But
that's hard, bro.
It's so hard.
Wait, were you in orchestra?
Yeah.
Fire.
Yeah. I was good too. Like I could do it. Like I could go.
What chair were you though?
I made it to second, but that's when I quit.
He said I made the second quit.
I could have got there in the first chair. You know what I'm saying?
What made you quit?
I had to move. It was time to go.
Because of the army stuff?
I only stayed anywhere for 2 years, the most. So I barely like made any friends. I wasn't even trying to. It was no point.
Dang. So your whole life you sort of been like a traveler.
Yeah. This the only place, like Marietta, like Duck Roadish, that area is where I stayed. It's the only place I stayed for more than 4 years in my whole life.
So now you would say like you're a little bit more grounded?
Yeah. I think that's why I'm starting to find myself a lot more out here. Because I'm like staying, I'm looking around, you know, I got a chance to take everything in. So.
At what age did you release your first beat for the public though? Like you started making it at like 13, around 13, 12?
Yeah. So after being in San Antonio, we moved back to, because I stayed in Georgia before San Antonio, but I was on a fort in Augusta in the country. I don't even know where it's at. You would never find it. But we came back, basically, that's when SoundCloud first came out. So as soon as I found SoundCloud, I uploaded a beat. As soon as I knew that you could for free just give it to people, instantly uploaded it. So that was like 2014 when I found SoundCloud. It was before that when it came out, but 2014, that summer, that was my first upload.
Okay, and so you uploaded to SoundCloud, and then like what was the response from your peers?
It was really good, actually, for like what I consider a boo-boo beat right now. I think.
Oh, you think it was bad?
I mean, I think so, but they didn't.
Yeah, well, I feel like it's like when you make art, you always feel like it's worse than what it actually is.
True.
You know what I'm saying?
Because it's like yours, it's coming out your hand. But yeah, it was like I was going for that like early Young Thug sound, kind of, because that's when I found him too. So I was making like early Young Thug beats, kind of ATL beats. I don't know how to explain it. I can show it to you like when we get done, but it's cool. It was cool.
And so you started releasing the beats. Did you form your own company to start selling your beats, or?
I didn't do that yet, and that's what I'm doing now because I'm just now getting this game. I've been doing everything by myself up to this point. I just now have gotten like what I would call a team or people that like have gravitated toward me to give me that information, because I didn't even know I could be making big funds off this. No one told me that I could, be flipping and doing this. But yeah, in the last 2 years, that's what I've been working on. I got a beat store on the way actually right now. The domain's bought, everything's ready to go. So, so no, when I started, I didn't. No, I didn't.
So at what point did you meet like all of your kind of new crowd here?
That's a good question.
Yeah, like, when did you?
That was about, well, I have to talk about this person because it's very important to like me starting. So my boy Risky, that's locked up right now, free him. He's the one that even got me into like making beats like on a daily basis, like for someone. Cause I just was testing it out. So I would stop. I'll make beats for 2 weeks and stop. But once I met Risky, like he would want them every day. So I would start making them every day. So he kind of gave me that pace. And then he kind of was in and out of jail. So from that pace, that's what made me kind of want to explore out and venture like, okay, he might like my beat. This person might like my beat. So it kind of started from there, and then it built. I think the first show I did was actually in like Alabama, bro. Like in the middle of nowhere. No one believes this story, but I swear to God, I went to the middle of nowhere. And I went up to the top of a mountain, believe me or not, I went to the top of a mountain and I played my music with like a whole bunch of white folk, and it was so lit. And like after that, I was like, I can do this. I had the feeling of like, if I just did that by myself, what can I not do? You know what I'm saying?
And they hired you just solely offline?
No, when I was with Risky, I had like kind of fell into his group, and like they would be going to functions and stuff like. I wasn't really accustomed to that because I'm a military kid. Like I'm like, bro, let's go home, go to sleep. I gotta get up at 8 a.m. Like that's how I think. I'm so serious.
No,
but
right.
they're the first people to be like, nah, bro, stay out. Come on. I'm like, oh, okay. Like, you know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
went and explored, and that's what occurred.
All right. And so are you still hanging with Risky and that crew?
He is locked up, man. Free him.
Okay.
He got to get his head together. He gonna do it though.
Yeah, for sure. And so what's been the most like challenging part about your journey so far?
Like honestly and truthfully, I would definitely say a lot of like self-doubt, a lot of like miscommunication, like with like who I'm living with, a lot of different like life things that I had to get together. But if you listen to my music, I literally talk about it. I talk about like all the things I'm struggling with, and music is one of the things that pulls me out of that reality, if that makes sense, of the struggling. Like like music made me feel like I'm doing something right, if that makes sense. So
because you're good at it, and it's
yeah, it kind of like pulls me away from like what's going on, if that makes sense. Like not being in the moment all the time, if that makes sense. I can just play a song in my head or think about a beat, and I'm like, okay, cool, that's perfect. Like it makes me feel like something's good,
Yeah. And so what made you transition from solely making beats to now actually like putting
As
vocals
an artist,
yeah.
Truthfully, again, like Risky being locked up, which kind of hurt me because I was one of the only people I had like a real big consistent build up with, and we kind of built a fan base out of it. When he got locked up, I made a song about it. I kind of had to pick it up and keep it going. That was the first true motivation. Like I was like, somebody got to rap on it.
Yeah.
So I started rapping on it, and then people liked it all of a sudden.
Has he heard any of the songs that you made? He likes them?
He thinks I'm better than him.
Oh,
He thinks I'm so much better than him. He tells me that every call. He's like, bro, you're the GOAT. Like, it's you, man. It's you. He always tells me this.
That's the kind of friends you need, though, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's my brother.
Both, like building, yeah.
That's my brother. He gonna get his head together. I swear to God.
Wait, so how do your military parents feel about your music career?
That's a good question. My mom is the coolest mom on the planet Earth, honestly. My dad is a little bit more strict. Like he's just on his shit. That's the best way to put it. That sums up my dad. He's on his shit. So if I'm not on my shit, he like, you fucking up, basically. So he doesn't even look at the music game as music. He's looked at it as money. He doesn't even, he's so like, you know what I mean? Like he can get into creative mode, but he's just so like, well, how much did you make? I'm so serious.
Like that,
and I love him for that though. I love him for that because he keep me in the realistics.
Yeah.
Like, he keeps me like not making stupid mistakes. You know what I'm saying? So I respect him for that. I don't take it personally.
Yeah.
I just know he's giving me the game to survive. That's all it is. So that's what I say. My mom knows, she loves what I do. She loves it.
Is she a creative person?
Yeah. So is my grandma. My grandma's a painter.
Really?
But yeah, I got like a whole bunch of that in my blood.
Dang. Wait, so does your mom paint too, or what art does she do?
My mom, she writes, and she's really good at it. She's a really, really good writer, and she's honestly a really good communicator because of it. Like, she's gotten all her jobs and every opportunity in her life because of her communication. She's a really good writer. Like, I think that's what she gave to me that makes me pretty good at writing too.
Yeah. Do you feel like having those artistic influences in your family helps your career?
Oh, definitely.
Or has it helped you in any way?
Yeah, it makes me think outside the box. Because instead of like thinking of like, let me keep up with the sound of today, I just think about my parents, or I think about different things I've heard in my life. I don't have to try to follow a sound, if that makes sense. I don't have to try to follow a wave. I'm just thinking about stuff in my life and I just let it out, basically.
Yeah. What artists are you listening to today?
Oh, that's good. It's multiple, but
all right, just give me like 3 or 4.
I'll do 3.
All right, three.
Right now, Kid Cudi, that new one he just dropped is amazing. Zilla Kami, people be sleeping on him, bro. Like, I don't know why he's so slept on, but he be talking about some real. And then I would put, I gotta fight for this 3rd spot. I gotta fight. I'll put Lucky. Lucky right now. I'm into what he's talking about because I like people that talk about their real reality. Yeah. So right now, like up to this day, that's what I'm rotating right now.
What do you feel like someone who's entering into or trying to enter into the music industry, like what do you think is like the best asset that you could have?
I'm gonna try to one-word it. Perseverance. Definitely perseverance. Like, if you're able to like lose and get back up, this is for you. I would say that. Like, I think that's what it's about. And low key, like the spirit of hip hop is kind of that too. Like, hip hop has always been fought against. Like, it's about persevering. Like, no, this is what we do. No, this is how I feel. No, this is what I say. Like, to me, that's what it's about. So I feel like if you just focus on perseverance and also your craft, it's really nothing that can stop you. Your lane will be carved out. That's just how I feel personally. So
what's been your, I'm sorry to cut you off.
No, you're fine.
What's been, we talked about your most challenging moment, but like what's been your most memorable moment so far in your music career? Where you just like, yo, this is lit, like, this is for me. Honestly,
these last shows been pretty cool, but that first show I did, it just was something about it. Like, I guess because it was my first one, and like I hadn't like experienced like a oneness feeling before. When I grabbed that mic and everyone was looking at me and like everyone was on one like head nod, it was the best feeling, probably top 5 feelings of my life. Just because like it's a one-time moment. Like, you got to take a picture to be there. You know what I mean? So I cherish that over any diamond chain or anything. It's a moment.
Earlier you talked about like making music every day with your friend. Do you feel like you're keeping up that same pace now in terms of like your consistency?
I probably doubled it.
You doubled it?
I probably doubled it to be honest, because like him calling me every chance he gets just to tell me that I'm the best, it's like super motivating. And it's like I said, it kind of feels like it's on my back and I got to keep it going. Like I'm repping us now, you know what I mean? Like, so it's like super motivating, I would say. It kind of like, it's one of them feelings that gets you up in the morning. Like, yeah, I got this, you know?
Yeah.
That's what I'll say.
And so when you make music, does it have to like reflect your actual life, or do you feel like you can add a little bit of like fiction in there to spice it?
Definitely, and I'm glad you bring that up, because I think that's exactly what art is about. The different way that you can play on a person's subconscious is really what I focus on. Like, every message isn't just like in your face. That's how a lot of rappers be. Like, just look at this, look at what I got, look at this. You don't got that. But I think the deeper messages always hit the subconscious. Like you walk away from the song and then you hear something. You're like, wow, that meant this. I kind of like play on stuff like that. Like I like to play on like people's energy more than just exactly what I'm saying or exactly how I'm feeling. I might put you in a mindset that I'm in instead of trying to tell you I'm sad. Does that make sense? Like, that's basically how I try to. It's a different ways you can make people interpret something. That's basically what I'm saying.
And so what are your like your ultimate aspirations with your career? Because you're like multifaceted, you produce music.
It's a good question.
You write, then you also perform.
Yeah. I would say ultimately, like truly and ultimately, I really just want to own a studio out here, like out here in one of these streets and just like help the youth, like help someone like me have that like, you got it bro, what you trying to do? You know, like, or what you seeing, let me help you see that. I got a room where you can, you know, extend that creative thought. That's really my ultimate goal because I'm more into the creative part. I could say I want a Grammy, but I really don't. Like truly deep down, I don't really want a Grammy. Like that's just someone else's opinion on my music. I want to help other creatives like build as we go. That's why I like this, because you're creative, you're doing what you're doing. I'm like, yeah, gotta support that. Anybody that's doing that, I'm on their team instantly.
Thank you. So for someone who aspires to do what you do, what advice would you give them on the road to successfully creating something? You know what I'm saying? Like producing a song, performing a song.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. I would say find a point A. Like it's hard to do anything if you don't like take that first step. Like looking at something is always going to feel more fearful than actually like getting in the pool, if you know what I mean. Like looking at the pool is always going to be more scary than just that little shock of cold. So it's like, I would say honestly the most important part is the resiliency after the first step. That's what I would say. If you take that first step and you're resilient, you can't lose. You're going to either learn a lesson or you're going to build something. Either way. Either way you gain, in my opinion. That's what I would say.
For real.